Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, a Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Brandon Pfalinger.
Hey, if you listen to the reviews for the shows that we do, like the My Hero one, you know that I've been sick and it's not been fun.
Hey, at least you're feeling better this week.
Not 100%, but I'm getting there.
Uh, okay. Also with us, Ryan Stokely.
Yo, yo.
So, I have two things this week.
Mm-hmm.
The first is a major Japanese taxi service. I forget the name of it on hand. I was looking for the article, but I couldn't quite find it. Banned its employees, and I'm really excited about this because this just gets to me when people do this. They ban their employees from licking their fingers when delivering change.
I mean, I feel like that should just be common courtesy,
Yeah.
especially in Japan. Like, they're hyper aware of sickness and shit. Like, that kind of thing surprises me that it would be over there.
But whenever I see people do that, I'm like, no, don't do that. That's disgusting.
Well, like, you mean, like, lick your finger and then, like, use it to try and separate dollar bills or
Yes,
something? Or,
yes.
okay, all right. I thought you were, like, talking, like, oh, man, they just had, like, some awesome food and they're, like, slurping their fingers off and then they're going for the change that you need.
Oh, no, 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 no.
No, I mean, I get it. Like, I don't do that, and I can understand why that's disgusting, and even more so because fucking who knows where that money's been. How often do you just randomly find like a dollar bill or something on the ground and just be like, hey, I'll take that, and now it's like, where the fuck has that been? Now it's in your wallet. Now whatever that's been at is all over the money that's in there, which you also don't know where that's been.
And going on to my second point, did you guys hear about Keanu Reeves Day in 2021?
No.
Is that when fucking shit, what's that thing? Cyberpunk 2077 is released?
No, that comes out sometime next in 2020.
Okay.
John Wick 4 and The Matrix 4 on the same day.
Oh wow. Is
I
Bill and Ted
don't
coming
know if
out
that'll
next
be
year?
good.
2021.
So that comes out too.
Yes, they are making a Matrix 4. What the hell would that be about?
I don't know. I only watched like half the first one because every time I watch any of those, I go to sleep.
I mean,
It's one of the only movies besides Superman, any of the Superman movies, it puts me to bed.
like, I can't imagine what it would be because from what I remember of The Matrix, the first one was very good, and then they kind of slowly started falling apart with each progressive sequel.
Mhm.
Because didn't 2 and 3 come out in the same year since they were made pretty much at the same time?
I honestly don't remember. They could have been. But I remember that the story kind of falls apart on itself as the movies progress.
And I know this is an 18-year-old spoiler, but doesn't Neo have like some heroic sacrifice to defeat the machines at the end of number 3?
I don't. It's been so
Yeah, I'm
fucking
not
long
sure.
since I've watched those. I don't know.
And
I haven't watched it in a while.
and I know that Trinity dies and Carrie-Anne Moss is confirmed to be in Matrix 4.
I'm guessing flashback.
Yeah.
Unless there's going to be some kind of weird time rewind, or like maybe the machines have recaptured everyone again, and now you're going through life believing that that's still a thing. You know, the dead people are now just programs in the system.
Yeah.
Didn't like Agent Smith or whatever it was become like the actual thing in the end? Didn't he become something in the end? I forget. It's again been so long.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it's been
Like he
so
broke away from the
long.
system. I remember that much. I just don't remember where he ended up by the end of the movies.
All I remember was there was this Neo versus 100 Agent Smiths in a downpour.
I know, and I believe those 100 were not the original, and they were still programmed and held by the machines. The original Agent Smith had broken away. It's been so long, I literally need to sit down and watch all 3 to remember everything, and then be like, all right, let's see here. Where's the analysis of where this could go? Turns out all 3 movies were actually a dream inside of another person inside the Matrix.
And that person lives inside a snow globe.
Exactly.
And that's where the movie took place.
Exactly. We pull the bullshit card of all 3 movies were a dream. They weren't real. That's how this works.
Maybe we could have a analysis of the Matrix movies.
Oh, for Christ's sake. You don't think everybody's done that already? Like, what are we actually going to say about those 3 movies that nobody else has said?
We can make a bunch of boner jokes.
I'm sure that's been covered somewhere, man.
Just a whole review of the Matrix, but
I'm positive. Are we going to turn this into B movie? Whenever they mention the word Matrix, it's just somebody recites the script of the B movie.
Oh God,
is that what it turns into? Except for us, it's boner jokes instead.
Yeah, as long as we don't have to read the whole script of the B movie.
No, man. When I say B movie, I mean the boner movie, which is probably in existence somewhere.
Yeah, I'd Google it, but I already know it exists. I'm pretty sure. There's no way it does. No, I'm gonna Google it.
No, now I need to know if it does exist. I'm pretty sure it does, but I need to know. I'm sure it exists. It's probably some porno.
Anything from you guys?
I've been sick, but that doesn't mean the world doesn't turn. So, Fallout 76 released a patch again. Oh boy, is it breaking stuff.
Worse?
I mean, let me put it this way, all right? You put on some armor, okay? You got me here? You start firing your gun. Cool, everything's fine. You reload your gun, and you go back to look at your armor, and suddenly the stats in your armor are way less than they should have been. Wow. Let's say you have 500 physical defense on that armor. Once you reload your gun, all of a sudden you're down to like 400. And it's like, what the shit? Now, whether that's actually just a graphical bug in that the number's changing and not the actual stat of the armor, who knows at this point. I don't know if there's been actual tests to see if, the armor's actual defense is changing or if it's just the number that's changing.
My mouth is pretty much agape now going, what the hell, Bethesda?
Like, everything with that game has just gotten progressively worse and worse and worse. And it was shit to start with. It just boggles my mind that there are people that will still sit there and defend it. Like, it's how? How can you defend it when they're fucking you left and right and they clearly don't know what they're doing? Like, I don't think there's been a patch for the game that hasn't had some kind of fucked up bug with it. And I don't mean just like small stuff. I mean like stupid big things. And that's not even before they finally bring in the patch that's supposed to, or not the patch, but the update that's supposed to bring in actual NPCs with story mode stuff.
Oh, God.
So when that hits, I'm real curious how fucked up it gets. Like, is it going to open up a whole new can of bugs, or is it just going to bring back the old shit again on top of new shit? Like that. Oh my God, that game is just ugh.
I'm glad I never got into Fallout because I would be furious now.
I mean, honestly, most of the games are fine. People were a little lukewarm on 4 just because it didn't feel as Fallout-y as the last couple. The first 2 are isometric, like, computer RPGs, like the ones that are just like, cool, click here, awesome. Dialogue tree, select what you want, awesome. Whereas like 3 was was kind of like 4, where it's like, first person 3D action game. New Vegas was way more of an RPG, and it was done by Obsidian, and most people tend to say that's the best 3D one that you can get. And then you had 4, which again, because of the way it's set up, it's a bit lukewarm on it, but I enjoyed it. And then there's 76, which is just a fucking like a goddamn train wreck that just won't stop. Like the engine's crashed. You've got like maybe 60 cars that have started piling up, and there's still like 60 more coming that haven't hit the point where they're going to derail. Like you see it, it's there, it's going to get here, and it's just a matter of when.
Right now, I'm just thinking how one would react.
Oh boy, this is fun. Too bad so many people have died on this hill.
Oh my god, watch Infinity Train. It's awesome.
Oh man. So yeah, that was a thing that has occurred that I took note of. As for other shit, I don't know. I started up a new game of Civ 6. That's been interesting because I'm going for the new victory that's been in there that I still haven't managed to get because I've been lazy about it.
Yeah.
The diplomatic victory. But I don't know. Well, I'll see how that ends up going.
Ryan?
Halo Reach came out
Oh yeah, I did.
for PC. It is fun. Apparently, the Discord people in my one group were all playing the other night while I had work, and it made me sad. They had like a group of like 8 people. So they're doing big team battles or like 4v4. But you definitely run into people who are just amazing at the game still, which then that kind of sucks because some of them will spawn camp, but most of the time it was pretty good.
Mhm.
What I played like 5 or 6 hours of it, but yeah, good times, old memories.
I never did get into Halo, but that's probably also because I've never owned an Xbox.
Yeah,
I've just never seen it. Because most of the stuff that Xbox had as far as exclusives never really caught my interest.
yeah. Halo was pretty much like the reason why I kept getting Xbox.
Oh shit!
That and I like
that's
the
right.
controllers over PlayStation ones.
So the Game Awards happened. The new Xbox was essentially unveiled there.
Oh yeah.
They've
Yep.
also guaranteed that PS5 is going to be out holiday next year because they were like showing off gameplay and they're like PlayStation 5. Like the game was like holiday 2020 on PlayStation 5. And it's
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh, okay, well, we don't know what it looks like 100% for sure, but we know it's coming out.
So,
Yeah.
what's the next box going to be called?
They called it Xbox X Series,
Yeah.
which is a very stupid name.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
It's like, I mean, aren't the I know Xbox like doesn't matter if you get the new one or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the same for a PS5.
Well, like
Where-
here's the thing, right? Like Xbox, the Xbox One S is out right
Yeah.
now, and you don't think people are going to confuse Xbox X Series with that? Like it's going to be, I feel, the same issue as the Wii and the Wii U, where the name's going to screw it over.
Mm-hmm.
They should have stuck with Scarlet.
Yes, Scarlet would have been way better. Just call it Xbox Scarlet. It would have been nice. And you could even sell it in a Scarlet color. You could have white, black, and Scarlet. Done. Marketing genius. Don't you want the Xbox Scarlet in Scarlet?
Actually, Xbox Scarlet would have been pretty cool.
Yes, it would have. They should have stuck with that.
Didn't
Yeah.
they have a Pokemon Yellow Game Boy?
Yeah.
Yes, I owned it.
Yeah, me too.
I still have it.
And you would play Pokemon Yellow on your Yellow Game Boy. Oh,
Technically, that was yellow and blue. The front half was yellow. The back half was blue.
wouldn't it have been red and blue to be a better color choice?
Well,
They
they were
should-
trying to market yellow, so they needed yellow in there somewhere, and yellow
They-
and red are awkward together on their own.
Mm.
Yeah, they should have just made it purple and yellow. Mixed blue and red.
Yeah, purple and yellow would have been a good idea.
And then the yellow face and then back be purple. But
But yeah, they also had like Pokemon on the front. Like the Power LED had a Pokeball around it. I believe Pikachu and Jigglypuff, I want to say, were also on it on the sides of like where the actual screen was. I'd have to dig it out to remember for sure, but I know I have it somewhere. There's also a gold and silver version for that too. They came out with a Game Boy Color that had gold and silver for it.
I think we've bantered enough, or else this will be like half an hour of banter.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh god. So, Orion, for the season 4 finale, yes, we will be taking a break from this. We are coming back in mid-February-ish.
Somewhere around there, yeah, so long as none of us are dying of sickness or something.
Yeah.
Or unless this whole YouTube thing.
Yeah, Cop is a bitch.
Channel.
Cop is a bitch. Technically, since we don't do ad revenue or monetization, it shouldn't be a problem. But we may still start putting like quick disclosures about this is for an adult audience at the start of videos.
Why they changed their whole thing? I saw a bunch of people posting. Like,
They're
anytime YouTube does anything, like, everybody's like, rabble.
Well, no, this is
I
literally
didn't-
not state mandated, but like nationally mandated by the government.
Oh, really?
Because they've been collecting children's data off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And they probably could have gotten away with saying that, like, hey, we have a disclosure agreement that says when you sign up, you need to be 13. But they started openly marketing to advertisers that, hey, we got children's data over here. They're essentially bringing down the big old legalization hammer on them.
Dude, we should just start putting videos on Pornhub.
I mean, hey, that's always an option.
Just start one of the channels. I want to be one of the first pioneers. Like that guy that...
And it doesn't help that, like, because of algorithms, it might get sorted into the wrong place. Because the way they're trying to define it is like cartoons and shit. Like cartoons, games, etc., etc. Like any kind of box opening channel would be considered, oh, this is for kids.
Yeah.
Or toy reviews would be considered for kids. Even though you're like marketing fucking like Gundam models or something. That's clearly not for someone that's like 8 years old usually. Like you're looking at like maybe 10 and up at that point, but still. But point is, like, because of shitty algorithms and people that work at YouTube sometimes being stupid. And I say this because somebody else had actually gone through, tried to put it and mark it as adult manually when they posted their video, and then there was some idiot that was manually turning it over to children's, even though in the video the guy says it's for adults. So yeah, it's gonna be weird because that gets implemented in January. So yeah, enough about like fucking channel politics. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking lawyer. Also, yeah, here's the downside, right? Here's the big downside. Literally, the people making these videos can be sued themselves. Like, it bypasses YouTube as a thing. It goes directly to the creators.
So, Orion.
Yeah, let's move on from the stupid shit.
So, Orion.
Yeah.
Bento.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Ben-toe.
Okay, glad you did that. I was immediately
that
going
clears
to
up
the bento
everything.
box. So, I definitely was going to say something about a bento box, but now it's bento. About a guy named Ben. His last name's Toe. And it just follows him around doing all kinds of stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it like the episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog where, like, Eustace's foot just takes over his body?
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, that would be great. And
wasn't the foot fungus a mobster?
Yes. And each toe was its own member of the mob.
I would say your first thing was right before you found out the odd choice of spelling.
He was closer with the first original idea.
About bento boxes. So, Ryan, how do you like mundane plots pushed to the extreme?
like if Seinfeld had some crazy shit happen every...
Let me also
Every
throw this
episode.
at you. A ludicrous concept played completely straight.
Oh, like, wait. So people in the show don't like react to anything going on?
Kind of.
Yeah, depending on what's going on, yes.
Okay.
Half-price bento boxes. Do you want one?
I mean, it depends how much they are, but yeah, sure.
Would you be willing to fight for your life daily for a half-price bento box?
No,
But what if you're a
Not at
poor,
all.
starving student?
maybe.
Because that's our
Wait.
hero.
Damn. So I was actually right about the bento boxes?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn.
This anime is so ludicrous because apparently it's this whole subculture of you need to fight for the honor of winning one of these half-priced bento boxes. And it's played completely straight.
Totally straight.
This ludicrous concept, which, like, when the hero first gets introduced to this, is like, what, are you serious? And then he just gets completely into it. Rivalries pop up, fucking, like, massive plans to take over, like, entire territories like a gang.
What the hell?
We must take over this chain of convenience stores so that only we can get the half-price bento.
Oh, man, and when we're waiting for, like, the moment for this fight to start up, we're just listening to the theme music of the stores going on.
Eat some fish.
Ooh.
Fish, fish, fish. Good for your brain. Get some fish.
What the fuck?
So, there's rules to the fight? Like,
Yes.
like you must wait for the god of discount to finish labeling each half-price bento, leave the area, and close the door before you start fighting.
Yeah, like they call them the half pricing gods. They're the ones that actually have the stickers that label them at half price. And then there's always one that gets like the specialty wreath sticker, which is the most coveted bento you can win.
How many seasons does this have?
One.
All right.
I want more, but there's one. It's only 12 episodes.
Unfortunately, the light novels it was based on, which has 15 volumes, ended in 2014. It lasted 6 years, and again, a light novel is novel with some occasional art, so it might be harder to find that translated as opposed to a manga.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go in there, you're fighting, and one of the rules as well is like after the half price god is left, the fight starts, and once you have a bento in your hand, nobody can attack you and you're free to leave.
What the fuck?
Like you have claimed your victory by taking the bento. Like that's how this works.
You can only take one bento. You cannot pay for it, re-enter the brawl to gain a second. Greed is not tolerated.
So
You also get titles. Like you get your nickname title like a wrestler. Like one girl is called the Ice Witch. What was it?
The
Another
beauty of the
one.
lake.
Yep, the Beauty of the Lake.
The wizard.
The
pervert.
The Emperor. Or the Monarch. I'm sorry, not the Emperor. The Monarch. Oh, God. Then there's like this one chick who's just in it so that way she can get inspiration for her fucking Arrow like fanfic or manga or whatever.
Her yaoi fanfic.
It's called Muscle Detective.
Who is based on her friend.
Our main character, Sato.
So don't these people like eat any other kind of food?
Oh, they do,
Or-
but half price bento only happens at like late at night at the stores. So it's their supper that they're going for.
Oh, okay.
And the amount of action.
Oh yeah, we forgot. We also had the monk, goatee, and brunette.
And just imagine the monk as regular sized Krillin.
Straight up to the point where he's wearing like a big version of the kanji on an orange shirt.
So This is basically just like Black Friday, the show.
You know? Except it's just every single day.
Yeah. I'm watching a clip, and then there's one chick with just oversized boobs.
They all have that. I'm pretty sure that's probably brunette. Do you ever see her, like, eyes, ever?
Yeah, I think they called her the witch or something.
Oh, that's Ice Witch, okay.
Or, yeah, she's brunette.
Like,
Wearing, like, a green thing. Like a green handkerchief around her neck, or
That's
whatever
brunette.
that is. Okay.
literally, if it's not, like, the straight-up serious brawling that's going on here for the bentos,
Hmm.
it's fucking sexualized everything, because the guy's, like, 14.
Okay.
Like, there's a
Unintentionally.
point where he's knocked out, wakes up, and one of the half-pricing gods is a woman, and he's like, wait, did we do something while I was unconscious? I don't know.
That's
so
Or the moment when he's, like, literally wrapped up like a mummy in the hospital. And, like, the one girl thinks he's the Ice Witch, and she's, like, trying to figure out data on him, and he's just freaking the fuck out. Because it's just, like, boobs and ass everywhere.
because like she's crawling on top of him. Hey, don't make a noise. I want to look at you closer.
And he's just, like, screaming through bandages.
Oh, now she hates me. She won't ever want to fight me.
Because he's wrapped up head to toe, and nobody can... like, they can't tell that he's a guy. Apparently they don't look at, like, any kind of, like, names on the rooms or anything, or the charts to tell them that it's this person.
You would love this, Ryan, because it's so mundane, it's hilarious.
The fucking ludicrousness is insane. And they just play most of it straight. There's an episode where they go to a theme park, or to a water park, and this is the one I referenced to you earlier, where one of the actual bentos is called the omelettes. And it looks like two big old tits made out of egg that's covering rice balls with, like, two little cherry tomatoes at the top of them.
And Bad Luck Girl?
Oh god, yes. There's a girl who is literally the incarnation of bad luck, to the point where, like, when you have a lucky charm and it would, like, if it brushes against her or something, it literally starts to just decay in front of you.
Damn.
Like, and the fact that she makes the main character Sato a fucking bento at one point, and it's like everything looks fine, but every time he bites into it, it's just pure unadulterated flavor that doesn't make sense.
Like broccoli is sweet, the lima beans taste like meat.
He'll bite into, like, let's just say, like, it's the rice, and all of a sudden it's, like, super sour for whatever reason. It's like, you can't mess up rice, right? Oh my god, it's so sour.
But the girl doesn't know she's unlucky since she's a ditz, so she unintentionally breaks a soda machine and is happy that all these sodas are pelting her in the head.
No, she's freaking out because it's not what she wanted, because he was looking for juice. But then she's like, oh my god, look at all these free sodas, though. And she'll open up a soda and just spraying her in the face. And she's just laughing the whole time.
Oh, this is so cold and refreshing.
Every time she shows up, I swear, she'll get, like, cut off to off screen at some point, and you hear nothing but car crash noises. Like, some really nasty shit is going down.
And I was talking to Tyler about this, and he was shocked my favorite girl is not Tsundere.
Technically, there's not really a tsundere in here.
I thought the Ice Witch was best girl.
Yeah, she's more just, like, your cold kind of character. She's the only character that's not, like, that is completely unaware of the sexualization going on in this anime. She's completely oblivious to it. Like, Sato will make a joke about, like, some kind of weird sexual thing, and she's like, what are you even talking about?
And since he kind of has a hot for her, he gets all flustered like, oh, nothing.
No, God, it's insanity. And the whole thing is, like, sponsored by Sega or, like, whatever other brand owns Sega. Because you're constantly seeing Virtua Fighter, fucking the Beauty of the Lake has Sonic as like her background on her cell phone. They have an NES club that's just covered in posters for Sega games and shit.
And besides that, so much real world product placement, since I would say 10-15% of each episode takes place in a convenience store. You'll see Pocky, you'll see Vermont Curry in the background.
They mentioned Calorie Mate.
Calorie Mate. One episode was, since they're based on food or like the bento of the day, one of the episodes was called Pocari Sweat after
The bottled water.
I think it's more like an energy water.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it looks like bottled water in there. I didn't realize it was like an energy water.
I think there's more to it than just 100% water.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And like everyone gets their names for stupid reasons. The Ice Witch gets it because she accidentally grabbed like a fucking beer that was called Ice Brew or something.
Freezing.
But she grabs that and tries to check out with it, only to realize that it's a beer and not a soda like she thought. So her name becomes Ice Witch. The Beauty by the Lake is literally because after winning her first bento, she fell asleep by the lake after finishing it.
Wow.
Literally, the pervert is exactly what it sounds like, because he's a fucking pervert. Because the one time he comes in dressed in a goddamn schoolgirl uniform, because his clothes got thrown into the incinerator.
Wow.
Then there's this one other girl who's not even involved in any of like the random craziness, but is just there, that knows the other people that are not the main character. And because she just views him as a problem, because apparently I think she's like she's a lesbian, let's straight up call it what it is. She's interested in all the other girls, essentially. And she beats the shit out of our main character for even the slightest perceived notion of things being
And
wrong.
her quirk is asking if she can do something after she did it.
Mm-hmm. She'll like kick him in the face, and she'll ask, "Can I kick you, please?" It's like, what the shit you
What?
just did?
The hell?
And that screenshot I wanted you to show, like that you got to there, was literally when it's finally straight up revealed to this character that the other girl, the writer, has been making that story based on Sato. And it's like, why is your face taped over all these buff bodybuilder men in this magazine? It's like, she's making a goddamn story with me as the main character. Okay, I'm not forcing her to do this shit. And she beats the ever-living fuck out of him.
And Guy's friend thinks they're a couple.
I don't even know if he knows that. The dude's just super into being just like, he's a super masochist. He's super into it.
He's so lucky.
Like, to the point where he like gives him porn mags and shit. Just being like, come on, man. You know you're into this.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
I saw this when it was coming out. I loved it from the first moment, even though during that first watch, I forgot how much product placement was in it. It's there. It's not really focused in on. It's just kind of there. The only time they do is when they're playing Virtua Fighter. That's the only time it's ever like main on screen. Otherwise, it's just kind of like in the background for the most part, or just a casual reference. This kind of shit is the same kind of shit that we get in, say, like the Yakuza games, or it's just there. You can just go straight up buy a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew in that game. It's no better or worse than anything else. Like, it's not the greatest healing item in the game, but it's just there. You can use it if you want.
And back to Pocari Sweat for just a second. It is a non-carbonated Japanese sports drink.
So it's like a Gatorade, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Huh.
Just the extremes they go to, and they have
Oh, this is straight up like outside of like flying and energies. This is straight up Dragon Ball Z. The way they fight. Beauty's fighting with chopsticks at one point. Orthros, one of the a set of twins at the end of the series, is fighting with like the shopping cart baskets.
Okay, my main question is, how do they generate dark from within the shopping basket.
I feel like it's more. I feel like that's artistic interpretation of like you being blinded by the shopping cart basket.
Maybe?
There's also, what was it, the Tempest, which is like a bunch of sports dudes that are coming in to get the bentos at one point. There's the, what is it, the Boar, which is like this fat lady with a shopping cart that just tries to shove her way in and take all the bentos, just completely ignoring the rules.
No, I think they're called boars because they disregard the rules. They're not the noble wolves.
Yeah, the wolves, which is the nickname for all the characters that are going after the food. And those that aren't, you know, that are like barely starting out as wolves are dogs. But no, I thought the boar was just one character. Because I don't think they ever called anyone else a boar, and it was in a different character.
No, I was pretty sure she had her own nickname, and she was.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like there are multiple boars. It's just the one. Because I don't think there was ever there were ever two different boars.
I think we only saw one of them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they like disregard the rules. Like the lady tries to get in before the half prices are on there, eventually knocks everyone away, gets in, grabs all the bentos, and is like, hey, put the fucking stickers on here so I can check out already.
So Orion, you probably have questions.
Yeah. Is this yeah. So, how many it's 12 episodes?
Yes.
12 episodes from 2011.
And it follows like a main person, right?
Yep, Sato.
Cuz like it seems like there's just like a bunch of
Well, he starts off
current characters or something. No.
He ends up joining a club that's based around this whole idea, which has the Ice Witch, our intrepid young writer, and now him.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting involved in all this. Also, when the writer gets involved in this, she literally just weaves around everyone and just sneaks in and grabs a bento. She doesn't fight. She really should have gotten a nickname, like the Weasel or something.
Yeah, the Weasel.
But yeah, it starts out with that. It starts growing because we're running into more and more wolves, either ones that are just local, which would be like Monk, Beauty, and Brunette, or Monk, Brunette, and Goatee. And eventually it spreads out to like other sides, including Beauty of the Lake, who apparently turns out to be his cousin, as well as Orthros, Monarch, and a few others. It starts, like the cast grows.
I really would want to see like who the next quote-unquote boss would be, because it seems that, Hercules is such a dick.
It was the Club of Hercules, but yes. Like, that is his full title, the Club of Hercules.
His thing is, he's like, oh, no, we won't fight. You will get your bento first, and then you're free to leave. Which makes it taste horrible, since there's no thrill of battle as you're eating it.
Mm-hmm. They actually tied that in like, I think the third episode or something, where like Sato gets involved in this other group that's at his school, where they're like a bunch of weaklings that work together to force their way through and get their bentos. They don't even really fight. They just create a wall and just keep everyone away while like the select handful go in and grab the bentos.
Oh man.
And like there's a whole thing of like, this just doesn't taste the same as when I want it for real though, man. And then there's this guy who's like, nah, you guys are too strong. You take out literally everyone. So go get your fucking bento. We're not even going to start fighting here. So you rob them of that thrill and what really makes the bento taste good and worthwhile.
And I know that they said their names were written differently, but how in Japanese were the sisters named the same thing phonetically? Like, Kyo. Both sisters were named Kyo. So, if the mom would call out like, hey Kyo, come down here, I need to talk to you, which sister would respond?
I don't know. It might be based on inflection. Who knows? We never even heard anything about the mom, just that the dad was in charge of like a string of supermarkets.
I would love to know what this person is doing now.
I mean, the series was really, really fucking ludicrous. Like, it's
And
great.
and it's animated by David Production, who did JoJo and Cells at Work.
Oh man, and like the action scenes are done in a way that's like old school Powerpuff Girls, where it's like you don't actually see the impact half the time. It just cuts to the reaction. You cut from the person throwing the punch to the character being thrown back into a wall.
Oh my god. Ryan, chime in anytime you want. Anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch this show. It sounds cool, I guess. But it's just weird. I don't know.
It's totally weird. And that's what makes it great. I love the fact that it's just taken so goddamn seriously, even though it's such a minor and stupid thing that should never be taken seriously. I like to imagine this is just Japan in general. Like, this is what happens on the streets at night.
And all the stores don't even care people are fighting over bento.
Nope. It's just the thing that happens. Like, the half-pricing gods just play along with the whole thing, and for those that are, like, seriously injured, they'll take them in the back room and be like, hey, you okay? Wake up. They'll even bandage them up a little bit, because this is just how it goes. This is how it happens. This is the culture now.
Did I win the fight? No. You got knocked out with the first punch. I was watching on the security camera. You lost pretty bad.
I still love the episode where he just wakes up and it's the girl that's in there, and it's just like, shit, did we have sex while I was asleep? What happened? What did I fight well? Like, he's using so many euphemisms to get around saying the actual thing. She's like, nah, that was very disappointing, actually. He's like, God damn it, no!
And anything that you does is fuel for the author.
Literally everything Sato does is just all of a sudden fuel to, like, inspire her to do stupid shit. Like, when she gave him the uniform, she's like, oh my god, he's an Uki. He's a cross-dresser. I knew it. She's just sitting there, like, sunlight-blinded white glasses and just this nosebleed with a thumbs up, like, yeah.
And wasn't there a scene where his cousin and Ice Witch were, like, cuddling him or fighting with him in a cuddling sort of way? She walks in, this would be great if it was all guys.
No, it was more like he was injured and they were, like, the one... Beauty was fucking with him in that regard. Ice Witch was like, but your injuries, though, and is, like, down by his groin. Does it hurt, like, here? Or, like, she's completely oblivious to what's going on. And that's when the author walks in, and Oshiroi, that's her name. Oshiroi walks in and is just like, oh my god, I knew it! If only they were all men! Like, holy shit. She is just a one-track mind.
Oh, this is so good.
Like, there's a point where he's, like, running across his cousin's schoolyard, completely naked except for his boxers, and you've got, like, the fucking main security guard saying he's going to insert something into his ass, basically. He's just screaming, insert it! Insert it! Insert it! And it's like, what the fuck even is that?
I am pretty sure it's a D battery.
It was rounded. I don't think it's a D battery. I think it's something to monitor where he's going. I think it's a tracker.
Then why did he want to put 4 in his ass in, like, the last episode?
I want to make sure he doesn't get away with it, I guess.
Oh, listen, I really gotta go. Like, and he clenches his ass as he runs away.
Oh my god, dude.
Literally everything that could be sexualized. Literally everything. It's fucking insane.
This is one of the top 3 we did this season.
It's so stupid.
I found them on some of the episodes on YouTube.
Although I am interested to hear how the English dub would take this.
Mm-hmm. I would be curious just to see how far they push it, because it's fucking ludicrous, and I love it. Oh man.
I know it's probably, besides YouTube, Crunchyroll, GoGo Anime, for the easily findable sub and dub.
Yep.
12 episodes, as we said.
Half hour long.
Yep.
It abouts, general regular episode length.
Okay.
Although there was a manga that was out for about, no, a prequel manga about the Ice Witch, and there were 3 side story-esque mangas around 2011, 2012-ish, each lasting about 6-7 months each. So I'm not too sure what those are about. So unfortunately, we may not get any more bento.
Probably not, unfortunately.
I would just love to see what this person is doing now and read more from them.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking ridiculous. Oh.
So I guess this wraps up this episode for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's about as far as we need to get. This is one of my favorite solo animes that like isn't a big franchise or anything because of how ludicrous it is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And
I'll put this one at the top there.
And like Food Wars, this kind of made me hungry sometimes.
Dude, Food Wars made me hungry.
Look, man, you just want those omelettes. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, with season 4 going on now, I'm probably going to marathon that during the break because I actually don't think I saw season 3 part 2. So I will have a lot of anime to watch over our break. Come back with us sometime around February when we'll discuss gemstones and if or if not they can be broken. Okay, see you later.
Oh,
Bye.
man.